What's up, everybody? This is Jose from Southern Life. We're gonna do a little live stream today. I just want to catch up with you guys, so thanks for signing in. Give me a minute since we're just starting the live stream. I want to make sure the audio and everything is working. By the way, welcome if you're a new subscriber. We've been growing at an incredible rate. I just want to confirm here that my live stream is working. Let's see here. I got an ad, so let's see if it's working. Welcome. I mean, it's been a while since I do a live stream. Yeah, we're good. I've been on the road so much that I've been on the road nonstop. Literally, I've literally been on the road so much that it's crazy. So with all that, it's a pleasure to have you guys here with us. We're gonna look at some real estate. Look at some real estate and just catch up with everybody. Katie says, audio is great. Chum, what's up, everybody? I mean, it's been great here in Alabama. I think the only crappy thing that's happened to me since I got here recently is I got my first ticket in Alabama, $230 for speeding on Interstate, for speeding on Interstate 65. That's about it. So I want to look at some real estate and just catch up with you guys, get to meet some of my new subscribers. I just got a new Auburn jersey. Now, I'm mostly with the Bama stuff. I like the red more. But I'm not going to lie, this is pretty sweet, y'all. Look, check it out. That's not bad at all. That's a pretty sweet jersey right there. You can't beat that. So, yeah, I mean, it looks good. And, you know, I really wanted to get with that Bama jersey, but it didn't say Alabama on it. It was just red. And, you know, if I go somewhere else with it, you can't really tell. So, yeah, I'm glad to see you guys are commenting already. So we're going to look at some real estate and just talk a little bit about... I mean, we've been to a lot of new places recently, too. We just went to... we just got back from Tennessee. We did North Florida. We've seen new parts of Alabama. So there's a lot new stuff going on. Look at me. I look like an old man. Getting old. When I see these white hairs on me, I'm like, man, I'm an old man already. So let's catch up, though. Let me see what you guys got going on here. Pedro Martin, que bola, serie, que vuelta. Crystal Medina, what's up? What's up, dude? We're good. Jay Scott, we're Roll Tide. Yeah, I'm with the Roll, man. It don't really matter. It's all Alabama. It's all Alabama. That's what's good. Don't matter if it's Roll Tide or the Auburn. It don't matter. It's all Alabama. So, I have a lot of people, you know, if you're looking at Alabama, you really need good jobs. You really got to end up in, like, the Huntsville area. They got, like, I don't know if you guys realize this. Let me show you guys real quick. They got they're building a new, there's a lot of stuff going on in the Huntsville area. So there's Alabama, and way at the top, you got the Huntsville area. And man, they got so much going on up there. It's crazy. You know, they got the U.S. Space and Rocket Center, right? So that's like an incredible thing to have. You have NASA also. You have the Huntsville International Airport. But way out here in the woods, they're actually building a Toyota plant somewhere out here in the woods. Let me see if I can find it. It's a Toyota Mazda plant. So there's a lot of work in that area, and there it is. You can't really see it because I mean, it's all it is like a spot on the map. It's just like that all right there. It's going to be a Toyota Mazda manufacturing plant. I mean, it's still going in. They're just building it, but I mean, that's going to be a huge. The amount of companies, and not just like little crappy companies. I'm talking like big companies, like. There are really big companies going into that area. I mean, I think Huntsville is gonna be competing with pretty much. I don't know competing with. I guess you know North Carolina, Charlotte, maybe Nashville. I mean, it's got a lot going on. Cold Weather says hello from the Midwest, Chicago. What's up? Katie's on the channel. It's all love, brother. Yeah, show is, man. Shum. Didn't they already had that? Yeah, it looks like a new thing. I don't know if it's going in. Joseph says, hey, Katie, when are you going to make some yeah, arepas on your channel? Yeah, what's up with Katie's cooking channel? She ain't been uploading much. The thing is that we're on the road so much now that we haven't even been eating at home. Like today, I just finally got groceries for the first time in I don't even know how long. because we've been on the road so much that that's all we're doing nowadays is just be on the road, be on the road. We've been hitting the road hard, and the channel's growing. We're getting about 3,000 new subscribers a month right now. Over 600,000 views in the last 28 days. So our YouTube channel's really, really been kicking it. I mean, it's been growing like my first day at home, and I can't even remember the last time I had a full day at home. I mean, I went to the grocery store and like that, but like, yeah, we've been going hard to get this channel to grow. And it's been kind of crazy. I mean, but if you want to do something in your life, you got to go hard. I mean, you got to put in effort. Me and Katie, we've been hitting that road non-stop. Cold weather, Blackhawk, what's up? Silicon Valley of the South. Yeah, it really is. It's doing great. Ew, you have an Auburn jersey on roadside. Yeah, it's all good. I mean, it don't matter if it's the roadside or it's all Alabama. It's all love. I wanted the Alabama jersey, but here's the thing. When I go up in there, the Alabama jersey doesn't say Alabama anywhere on it. It's just a red jersey, so it's kind of like if I can find like an Alabama jersey that says Alabama on it, I'm definitely going for it. But this says Auburn on it, so like when I go to other states and I travel, I want people to know what area I live in, like with my outfit, and I can't do that. I just can't do that if it's just a red jersey. Like, you know, I wanted when I find one that says Alabama on it, I'll definitely get it, and that's actually what I wanted. The Toyota engine plant is also in Huntsville. They're hiring at $17 an hour. The Coastal Professional Huntsville. Google it if anyone is interested. Yeah, and you know they also have Facebook. Something about Facebook is in Huntsville, so they're definitely got the right companies there. It definitely means something here. That's all good. It's all good, y'all. Oh, I get you. It's all good. I mean, like, it's hard. Like, I come from Florida, and I'm not gonna go with Florida Gators because I really don't identify. Like, if you're from South Florida, you don't identify with Florida Gators. And the only thing we had down there was a hockey team, and their jerseys are incredible. But they're like $200 or $300 for their jerseys. That's a lot of money. I actually looked at them. They're beautiful jerseys, but they're really expensive. Even this was expensive. But I mean, I gotta have it. I can't be YouTubing. I can't be YouTubing and not have it. Like, it's almost like a write-off. I should be able to write it off, I think. It's like a write-off for me. Yeah, but overall, yeah, the Huntsville area is really the area for people. If you need employment in Alabama, let's be honest, like Tennessee and Florida are burnt out. I talk to people in Tennessee. There's a lot of Colombians now in Tennessee. A lot of Colombians, Venezuelans. There's a lot of different people going to Nashville. To me, Nashville seems more burnt out than Florida. The traffic is worse. The housing is incredibly expensive. And the jobs, I didn't see that many jobs in Nashville. It seems like to me, Nashville is just burnt the crap out, man. I didn't like Nashville. It's a cool place to visit. Just like Panama City Beach or South Florida. They're cool places to visit. But I wouldn't really consider moving there. It seems like to me, it's really burnt out. We're Huntsville area. And you got to understand, like, if you're coming from out of state and you're looking at Alabama, you probably want to end up in Huntsville. Because the other metropolitan areas, there's too much regional stuff going on that it may just take a while. Like, it took me a while to adjust to living here in central Alabama in the woods. It's definitely not exactly life. So it takes a while to adjust, and I love it. And actually, when I look at real estate for myself, I'm actually looking at moving. I want to be on 5 to 10 acres. I'm on 1 acre now, and I got neighbors on both. It's like a really long lot, so I do have neighbors on both sides, and I put a fence around the property. When I move again, I want to be on 5 to 10 acres. I don't want to be in the city again. Let me read some of these comments. Have you traveled to New York? I haven't. I've never been to New York, and I probably should at this point. I want to see where the factory is for these people. I want to see these people in their natural habitat, man. I'm tired of seeing them on vacation. I said que hola, David, what's good? I said que hola. And by the way, that's a Cuban greeting. It's kind of like, what's up, buddy, in Cuban, or I don't know, hey, y'all. It's like the hey, y'all for Cuban people. So I said que hola, that's like a greeting for Cuban people. And if you guys don't know, I'm Cuban. I don't look Spanish, but I am. You stay near the Gump. Just get in Alabama State jersey. Yeah, I get you. I get you. No, around here most people are Alabama fans, and I have both. I wear both. Um, I like as a city. Here's my thing. Hear me out, okay? There's no doubt that when it comes to football teams, Alabama's the clear choice. Auburn just doesn't do it. I get you as far as football teams, but as far as actual cities, I like Auburn a lot more. Auburn has life. It seems like a really wholesome place. To me, Tuscaloosa just seems kind of. It seems boring. It's kind of like almost part of Mississippi. It's not as fun as Auburn. So for me, going to Tuscaloosa is like, oh, do I have to? When I go to Auburn, it's like, yeah, I'm going to Auburn. So yes, clearly as a football team, Alabama's way better. But as a city, I would not recommend Tuscaloosa. But Auburn, I would definitely recommend Auburn. Auburn's a really cool city. And actually, I spent 2 weeks in Auburn. When I first came to Alabama, Auburn's the reason I moved to Alabama. Because it's the first place in Alabama in 2016 when I first came to Alabama that I went to. If it wasn't for Auburn, I wouldn't even be in Alabama. So it almost seems like a natural, clear choice to me. Even though around here where and here's the other thing I like as individual people. It gets confusing. I like Auburn people. I like Alabama fans more because they're more country people, and Auburn fans seem to be a little bit more sophisticated. So I like the people that wear the Alabama stuff. They have a better football team, but when it comes to actual cities, I like Auburn more. So it's a real toss-up for me, and I don't think I'm going to be able to just pick one clear cut or the other. And when it comes to jerseys, I mean, you got red that looks really hot, and you got, I don't know, it's a really, really, it's not an easy choice. Auburn is much nicer than Tuscaloosa, let's be honest. Reality Check TV, NYC, there's so much to see, but upstate there's also a lot of nice small towns. Yeah, there really is. Actually, by accident, I joined a Facebook group about Millbrook, New York. I live in Millbrook, Alabama. I accidentally joined a Millbrook, New York group. The town looks incredible. The people, I'm like, I don't understand with so many nice towns in upstate New York, why people from New York don't just move to their own state and they got to come over here and ruin other little places. I mean, there's a lot of nice stuff in upstate New York. I am thoroughly aware that upstate New York has some incredible small towns. Same thing for Pennsylvania. But they somehow come down here. Let's actually look at some real estate. I mean, we got, how many people we got on here? 19 people. Your internet connection is doing a lot better. Yeah, and I'm actually, good thing you mentioned that. I'm actually going to be getting real internet. Okay? The Alabama Central Electric Company, which is what runs our power here, is going to be giving us internet by the end of the year. When this happens, I'll be able to do live streams, large uploads. As you guys know, the heart, but it's been a great thing because, you know, since we have this really crappy internet at home, I've hit the road, and that's what's really made our YouTube channel pop off. So if I had good internet at home, I would have never been on the road as much, basically. So it's actually been a great thing that I've learned not to depend on my internet at home, because depending on my internet at home is what kept my channel small. When I moved to Alabama, my internet sucked really bad, and I had to find different ways to upload, and that's really led to a lot of growth. So I'm not really upset, but I'm paying $100 for a hotbox, and it's pure garbage. It works whenever it wants to. It sucks. I think by the end of the year, Alabama Electric is going to run, I can't remember the speed, but I think for the fastest I ever had was 300 back in Naples. Paying like $130 a month. I'm going to get 1,000, which I've never even had internet that fast, for $100 a month. So my internet, in theory, if it works out the way they say it will, and by the end of the year, I'll have the fastest internet I've ever had here in the middle of nowhere in Alabama. So moving here to Alabama, it's been great for everything. Everything's just worked out. I mean, I've had to make adjustments, and everything wasn't the way like if you're moving somewhere different, everything's not going to be like, my internet was never the same here. But I adapted, and it worked out for the better. And a lot, when you move, employment, your schedule, internet, your services, everything you're used to will be changed. And at first, you may hate that change, but eventually you'll find benefits to it. So don't be so. I think in life we have to make changes. Sometimes we have personal fears, bad experiences, nightmares, even about experiences that we've had in the past. And sometimes we let those fears and anxieties and ghosts of the past keep us from moving forward. And eventually, you're going to have to just take that leap and do something crazy, move somewhere. You got to do it eventually. Like, it's been the best thing for me. Um, Fear is not always your friend. Sometimes you have to learn to take those risks and do those crazy things. So if you're thinking about moving, um, it may not work out. It may not seem like when 2 months into this move, I could have definitely fallen victim to fear, anxiety, listening to all the people that told me there was no jobs in Alabama and all these horrible things they said about Alabama. And 8 months into this, it's been the best thing that's ever happened to me. So what I want you guys to know is that you're gonna have to, immediately you may not, like when you first move, it may take a few months. It's 8 months into this move before I kind of feel really comfortable where I'm at. When I go back to large cities, I feel very uncomfortable. I like going to large cities for the vibes and all that, but I just feel so uncomfortable to where, like, next time I move, instead of moving back to the city, I'm probably going to move further into the and I actually want to isolate myself even more from people. But I understand that I do need to be 20 minutes from a grocery store. But that's not hard to do. You can be in the middle of nowhere and still be 20 minutes from a grocery store. So everything's worked out great. It's just you got to do it, man. Cool. Italian sister. So Gaston says Tuscaloosa has more money. Go north of the river. Yeah, that part of the river is a lot nicer. And I didn't go north of the river on this last trip, but I do know that the north side's a lot better. But I just don't like the city itself, and that's a really... Auburn is different from all Alabama cities in that everything's centered around the city. Most Alabama cities, the center of the city's garbage, and then the good stuff is on the outskirts. Well, Auburn, everything's in the center, so it's a very unique city. And last time I was in Tuscaloosa, it was a complete ghost town. Auburn, you could go there on a Sunday night and there's life. There's always life in Auburn, no matter what. Young people running around, so it's really difficult for me not to like Auburn more. So, but like I said, I do like when it comes to individual. And the other thing is like that, like Alabama's full of great people. You're not gonna tell me because Auburn or Alabama. They're still both great people, and I've worked for Auburn fans. I work for Bama fans. They're both great people, so it doesn't really matter to me as an outsider. It's actually a great conversation piece, So I like wearing the Auburn, especially where I live, where everybody's kind of going for Alabama. When you wear the Auburn, it kind of it's a good conversation piece. So if anything, it's a good conversation piece, and you do have to be very brave to wear these Auburn shirts in my part of Alabama. And you're going to get picked on. There's no doubt about it. But it's just a good conversation piece, It's wherever you go, oh, man, somebody's going to say roll tide, this and that. But I'm not even, it's just a good conversation piece. So it's not really a bad thing to me. It's too much hassle. Yeah, city life is way too much, man. After living out here in these woods in Alabama, I don't ever see me going back to a city. I just can't do it. I mean, yeah, after living out here in these woods, I don't ever see me going back to a city. It just you get used to it. Everybody minds their own business. At first, I was the problem because I wanted to meet my neighbors and stuff, and you're not supposed to do that. So I'm coming from a big city, so I had a big city hustle going on, and I've learned to slow that down a little bit. After living here in Alabama, I don't ever want to go back to a city. Where your neighbors are on top of you. I like to walk outside and just boom, right in my backyard, burn a couch. I get all excited because I get to burn it in my front lawn. It's kind of, if you're from a city, you're like, what is that? No. it's just hard to explain how the country life gets to you. But like if a piece of furniture breaks in my house, we just drag it in the front lawn, throw some lighter fluid on it, and watch it burn for 20 minutes. It's hard. The freedom of what you can do out here in these woods is incredible. Like, and I want to move to a place where I have neighbors kind of adjacent. There's only like 3 neighbors out here, you know. And I want to move to a place where my neighbors are at least 20 acres away. Like if I want to be on 5 acres and they're on 20 or 40 acres, so I want to find a 5 acre piece of land surrounded by 100 acres, so that if I want to blast music at 2 in the morning, I can do it. If I want to walk in my backyard at 2 in the morning and just whatever I want to do, I can do all that and not have to worry about bothering other. I don't want to bother other people, and I don't want other people to bother me. I just want to live in a place where I have enough land where I can just do that, and it's been great for me. I mean, to realize that there's hillbillies and then there's farmers, and I want to be near the farmer type person. I ended up around the hillbilly area, and there's farmers, and farmers are actually a whole lot better. So it's just when I came here, I didn't know the difference. The hillbillies, they're up till 2 in the morning working on junk cars, and they have more stuff going on. I want to live around farmers that wake up at 6 in the morning and plow a field all day. So it was a learning experience. I came straight from the city right into Confederate Central Alabama, so it's a very sharp contrast from what I'm used to, but it's worked out great. And after living out here, I like the people out here more. I like the peace and tranquility, and I actually want to expand on that next time I move. I've been here for 8 months, so after 2 years I can sell the property. So I have 14 more months to go. I'm almost at that halfway point, and I'm pretty sure I'm gonna fix up this property. This bedroom, I still gotta paint it. I gotta floor it. Floors. It's got the original carpets in here now, so I'm gonna paint this bedroom, put floors in here, and do it to the rest of the house. I've already got started on it, and hopefully save up some money. And when I'm ready to buy the other house in 14 months, we're almost at the halfway point. I want to be on more land, and I want to make sure that my neighbors are kind of further away from me. So where if I wanted to shoot in the middle of the night, I could, and it wouldn't bother anybody. If I wanted to blast my music as loud as I wanted, nobody could hear it. I just want to be further out. So let me take some of these comments. I see stuff going on here. Love your tours to your new channel. What do you think about Central Florida? I think Central Florida's gotten burned out. Too many people. It's a good area to relocate to if you're retired or you're just about ready for retirement. But as far as for me, Interstate 4 is like a wall, and it blocks you. I'll give you an example. Like right now, if I wanted to go to Nashville, the exit to the Interstate 65 is 10 minutes from my house. Okay? So in 10 minutes, I'm on Interstate 65, and I can drive straight to Nashville. And when you get to Nashville, there's traffic, of course, but it's a straight shot to Nashville. If I go south on 65, I can be in New Orleans or Mobile. From where I am in Alabama, I can head in, and Birmingham usually doesn't have traffic unless you're coming southbound in the afternoon on 65. I can head in any direction I want. Like I can be in Memphis, Atlanta, Nashville, New Orleans, North Florida. I can just, from here I can, Georgia. I can just boom in all directions. Birmingham is like a star of highways. You can go north, you can go to Chattanooga, just anywhere. I can from where I'm at in Central Alabama, it's like a spider web of highways going in all directions. Orlando, I-4 is like a wall. You can't cross that thing. I mean, it's basically a wall of traffic. From Tampa all the way to Daytona Beach, I-4 is like a wall. And if you're in Central Florida, you can't really hop to all these different places. You're kind of stuck there in traffic. So I like that where I'm at now. I can drive 6 hours without hitting traffic. If I want to wake up in the morning at 6 in the morning, I can start driving at 6 in the morning, and at 1 in the afternoon I could drive for 7 hours, and I might hit a few stop signs and a few lights, a few little little things. Like I can just drive endlessly in any direction without having to worry about traffic. So I can explore new places without really being stressed. So yeah, I don't really like Central because what I do for YouTube, it wouldn't work for me. Now for you, it might work. It gets cold just like it does here in Alabama. I mean, North Florida gets cold, and Central Florida gets cold too. But that I-4 for me just takes away everything. If I-4 didn't exist, I would like North Florida more. On your next move, would you rather live in Tennessee, North Carolina, South Carolina, Arkansas, Oklahoma, or Nebraska? Probably none of those places. Tennessee is too expensive for me. The math of living there doesn't add up. It's too hectic. It's too city life. And even the rural areas are expensive. You have an influx of people from California, which to me is just like, at least I'm familiar. I couldn't do Tennessee. There's just too many people, too many transplants there. North Carolina, I don't like it. I just don't like the East Coast. Great people in South Carolina, but it's just like the terrain in North Carolina and South Carolina. It's like a wall. I like it that it's flat down here in Alabama. I can just head in all directions. So I would probably consider Arkansas. And the reason I would consider Arkansas is because it's just like Alabama is kind of wild and untamed. I mean, it's the natural state, baby. Arkansas is the natural state. So it's a wild place like Alabama. I would probably want to be around the Ozarks. Yeah, I would do Arkansas probably. Nebraska seems like it's nice. I've never been there, but I've never been to Arkansas. The problem with Oklahoma and Nebraska is that they're too cold, and even Arkansas is way too cold. Like, I would want to be in the southeast just so I could kind of stay away from the cold. I think I would not. Oklahoma and Nebraska wouldn't work for me. It's just too cold and it lacks culture. Like Alabama has a lot of culture. You know what I mean? You got, car culture. You got music culture. Alabama has a lot of culture, barbecue. Arkansas does too, but Oklahoma and Nebraska to me seem really bland. And I just don't want to be in a place that's that bland. I like Alabama because it has its own unique culture, and Arkansas does too. It's very country. So I would want to live somewhere that has more culture. So, Mr. Terrence Smith, I think I would go with Arkansas. Most people would like Tennessee or North Carolina for them, but for my personal liking, I would probably go with Arkansas. South Carolina. See, I didn't really like South Carolina. I worked in South Carolina a little bit, and I didn't like it. And it could be that I had a lot of bad experiences when I was there. Nothing went right when I was in South Carolina, so it may just be like a prejudice that I have based on what I went through when I was there. But South Carolina could work. Eventually when that 2-year mark comes, I may just have to relocate to another state to keep growing the YouTube channel, because part of coming to Alabama was growing the YouTube channel, and it seems that it really worked well. So if I were in 2 years to relocate again, it would grow my YouTube channel exponentially, because I get to work different areas, and as I move around these different places, I can garnish a local subscriber base, so it doesn't make sense for me to stay in one area forever, because eventually you level out. So I think in 2 years I'd have burned out Alabama, then I would have to move to another state. But I'm going to tell you, I'm starting to like Alabama so much that I don't know if I want to leave it. I went into Mississippi. In my mind, when I first left Florida, I thought it would be Alabama for 2 years and then Mississippi. I ran into Mississippi. I did videos there. I didn't get that many views in Mississippi. I didn't like Katie liked Mississippi, but I didn't like Mississippi. The town seemed really clean, and it doesn't seem as bad as everybody said it was, but it just seems too boring. So, uh, Gaston says, Shum says it's too much of a hassle to live in a big city, and I agree with you. I will never live in a big city again. Gaston says Auburn, Alabama. Alabama, it's our Crips and Bloods. Yeah, pretty much. You have to choose a side even if you're a visitor. Yeah, it's kind of like Crips and Bloods out here when it comes to the football teams. It's a good conversation piece. That's all I'm going to say. I love your tours. New to your channel. Welcome on board, Grace. Do you think of Central Florida? Well, I kind of went into that. But Central Florida does have great areas. Central Florida has Mount Dora, little places in Central Florida. It's just Orlando has so much traffic congestion, and it's so impassable that for me, with what I do on YouTube, where I have to move large distances to get subscriber base, I just can't do it in a place like Orlando. So it would never work for me. I like to hit open road. For me, what I like about where I live now the most is open road, in any direction, 360. And in Florida, you got the ocean. So like when I was in Naples, Florida, I could go to Miami. That's as far east as I could go, and it was a 2-hour drive. Orlando or Tampa. That's all I could do. Like being in South Florida, at the end of South Florida, I could only go to Orlando, Tampa, Miami, 3 cities. Where I am now, I can cover like 50 big cities. Like I can be in New Orleans, Chattanooga, Atlanta, Nashville, Memphis, all the Mississippi cities, all Alabama. It's just incredible how much I can do from where I am now. So when I move again, that's going to be a big thing. Avoiding the Orlandos, the Atlantas, in any metropolitan area, or mountain ranges or oceans. I need to avoid anything that's kind of a barrier to me being able to travel large distances. So I want to be in a flat open area. So Arkansas would work because I could hit up Oklahoma, I could hit up Texas, Louisiana. It's just about finding a place where I can cover a lot of stuff in a small period of time. That's what Alabama's been great. Where moving back to Florida, it would just incommunicate me. My content would be limited, and that's really from a geographical standpoint. I have to avoid any kind of obstacle. Like Atlanta is an obstacle. Orlando is an obstacle. Nashville is an obstacle. The mountain ranges that go, the Appalachian Mountains. That's an obstacle for me. So yeah. I've lived in Orlando and ATL, didn't like it, and was immediately ready to move back to Alabama. I live in Birmingham, the biggest city here, but I don't want to live in a highly dense. Yeah, Birmingham is a great city for people who like nature. So you've lived in Orlando and Atlanta, and you're back in Birmingham, and that's what I've told people. I tell people, hey, Atlanta, I like Birmingham more than Atlanta and Orlando. People are just like, wait, what? Because when you hear about all people know about Birmingham is that it has the highest murder rate and the highest crime rates in the country. But there's so much more to the metropolitan area than that. People just don't understand how much it has to offer. I mean, Birmingham is probably Chattanooga is the only city you're going to drive through where it's just driving through it, you're just like, wow, this is amazing. Like Chattanooga, Birmingham, they're incredible cities to drive through. I mean, the setting of those cities is incredible. Yeah, I like Birmingham for a big city. It does have its problems with crime and all that, but if you land somewhere in the suburbs, it's all right. And Birmingham, Shelby County, has higher incomes than any other place, even more than Huntsville area, believe it or not. So the south side, the southern region of Birmingham, that county, Shelby County, actually has more income even than Huntsville. So that's kind of, yeah. So it is what it is. But I agree with you on that, Gaston. Definitely, Birmingham is an underrated city, and yeah, I mean, I can be in Birmingham in, well, before it was an hour, but now that I got this ticket, it's going to be an hour and 20 minutes to get to Birmingham. Before this ticket, okay, I was getting to Birmingham in an hour. Now that this ticket's on my desk, I think it's going to take me an hour and 20 minutes to get to Birmingham. because well, the Alabama State Troopers caught me going 85 on 65, and they weren't too happy about it. I thought I would get my celebrity pass. There's no celebrity pass in Alabama. Um, this trooper, when I saw him, he just looked, really tough and rugged. I was like, oh man. Usually, I have a dash cam and I leave it on and I tell the trooper, hey, that camera is recording. But Alabama is so different. Like I do that in Florida, and in Florida you can push cops around. But I don't think in Alabama it's a smart thing to do. So I was just like, I took the fine or whatever. I mean, I was hoping I would get some type of pass because it's me, but I guess that doesn't really work. Um, my explanation for speeding, it was just stupid. He asked me if I had an explanation. I was like, yeah, man, I got somebody waiting for me in Montgomery to work. He's like, well, it's going to take you a little bit longer to get there. So, yeah. Real talk, Orlando was hell for me. Yeah, Orlando is horrible. I don't. But then again, these people moving from New Jersey and New York and California, just keep them going to Florida. Make sure they all end up in Florida where they belong, and they don't come mess up Alabama. Because first of all, they ain't gonna like it here, and Alabama's not gonna like them, and they're not gonna like Alabama. Alabama's not for everybody. Alabama's for somebody like me who gets excited about burning their furniture in their front yard. And if you have a problem with your neighbor burning a couch on their front yard, then maybe Alabama's not a place for you. So, and there are civilized places in Alabama: Huntsville, Homewood, Hoover. There's plenty of places that are very civilized. Auburn, very civilized places in Alabama, but it ain't for me. I understand your opinions. Thank you so much, Terrence. You're the best, man. And by the way, Terrence, I crack up, man, when you go and you fight. If anybody hates on me and my channel, I don't even have to worry about haters. Terrence is like my go-to person. Terrence, if somebody's a hater on my channel, he takes care of them for me. He's like the security on the channel. So if you have a problem with me on my channel, I send Terrence out to get you. So I appreciate that. I crack up. But I love the support. That's awesome, Inexpensive. Oh, yeah, Florida's expensive. And there's no good paying jobs in Orlando. Even for a Florida city, it sucks. Weather in Arkansas, yeah, for a fact. Arkansas weather is not as nice as Alabama weather. Cool Boy says, what's up? Yeah. One of your videos, you was in my grandma's hood. That's cool. That's pretty cool. I'm all over the place. I get that all the time. I get people tell me they're on the video, their grandma's on the video, their cousin's on the video, their house is the cover photo for my video. It's a small world. Clewiston, true, yeah, Clewiston. I know Clewiston very well. I got childhood friends that are from Clewiston, so I know Clewiston very well. When I grew up, I ran with some kids from Clewiston. They were very bad kids. Yeah, they were on some serious stuff with that Clewiston Belle Glade stuff. Them kids are crazy. Not easy to get out of Florida. It sucks. Yeah, Clewiston is crazy. But, I mean, I know so many people from Clewiston. It's kind of like my cousins are married or have kids. I don't know. You know how that works. It's just like, I'm related to them somehow. They're my cousins, their cousins. Yeah, whatever. You know how life. My cousins. Oh, I'm not even going to get into this. Yeah, some of my cousins are married to people from Clewiston, and then so my cousin's kids, I don't know. But yeah, I got family that's from that area. I mean, like, not only my blood family, but my family's married into families from Clewiston. So yeah. Yeah, I mean, I know Clewiston very well. Love the place, but I even consider moving there, but it's just too ghetto. The people are just too gangster. I mean, it's a small town, but Clewiston is a small town with a big city, like, crime problem. It is just, like, gangster culture. There's just tough, like, they're country, but they're gangster. It's a really crazy place. And it's going in the right direction. It's getting better. Clewiston is not as bad as it used to. Like, I went to Harlem, like, I used to go into Harlem Heights. And Harlem Heights, man, that was a wild place. I took Katie to Harlem Heights, and I was like, oh, this is not wild like it's nice now. Harlem Heights, you can actually drive into Harlem now. Back in the day when I was like a teenager, I drove into Harlem and people chased me down throwing beer bottles at my car. Like, you ain't from around here, you can't come up in our hood. And they were like throwing beer bottles at us. Like, I ran with some kids from Clewiston who were really, really bad kids. And they were scared of going to Harlem. So it's kind of like, if these bad kids are scared to go here, yeah, it's bad. So yeah, I'm really familiar with Clewiston. Yeah, it's not easy to get out of Florida. How is Fayette, Alabama? Is it okay there? Too slow. I think it's. Let me look it up real quick. I think I've been there. Hold on. Let me a second. I've been to so many places. I kind of forget where I've been. Let me see if I've been there yet. I think I've been there already. Come on, hold on, y'all. Let me see if I've been here yet. No, I haven't been there yet, so I couldn't tell you. The closest I've been to there, I've been to Tuscaloosa, and I haven't been out there yet, so I couldn't even tell you. So eventually I will go there, but I couldn't tell you. That's the only region of Alabama that I haven't been to is this one. So Northwest Alabama, we got to do a trip out there. I've yet to go out there, but it's probably boring as crap, just judging by how far. Just judging by how far it is from anything else, and what's the closest thing to it is Mississippi or Tuscaloosa, which I don't like. It's probably really boring to live out there. So I know somebody that lives here. Actually, we're gonna go here soon, so I could check this town out. But I'm gonna guess it's probably really boring to live there. So if that answers your question, it's probably really boring to live there. I'm just judging by where it's located. It's probably really boring to live there. So if you move there, you better be ready for the slow-paced life. Claremont and Davenport, Florida is a place to be. Yeah, Claremont is nice. And Groveland nearby is actually really nice too. So there are nice areas in Central Florida. Claremont is pretty nice. Groveland right next to it's really nice. Mount Dora is really nice. Yeah, there's nice areas through there. There's no doubt about it. You're born and raised in the Beeham. Yo, what's up? That's cool. So welcome on board. I'm glad to have you here on the channel with us. Jefferson County will be having too much shootings. Yeah. And what's really scary about Birmingham is it doesn't look bad. Like, you go to a lot of places that look bad. Birmingham like Montgomery looks a lot worse than Birmingham because there's more street activity, more people out and about hanging out. But Birmingham can fool you because it looks quiet. Birmingham is no joke, and it can definitely fool you. It's consistently one of the highest murder rates in the country, so yeah, it's definitely not a joke. Grace says, no. Yeah, nobody really care about celebs here, cops or civilian. That's why celebs like it here. No one will hassle you. I love that. Like, back in Florida, it was hard for me to be out in public. Here in Alabama, Alabama is a great place to be a celebrity because it's so low key. Like, people have a lot of manners and stuff. So, like, if somebody sees me here in Alabama and they recognize me, and I'm not like a celebrity. I'm on YouTube. People know me. So, like maybe 1 in 300 people knows who I am, or 1 in 400 people knows who I am. So, if I go to a place where there's 1,000 people, somebody's gonna know me for a fact. So what I like about Alabama is like I'll meet somebody and I can see in their face that they know me, but they won't say anything. And that's really cool because, man, it gets crazy. Like I was in Florida last time I went to Florida, like not this trip, but the trip before. I was back in my hood in South Florida, and there was a car with like 5 or 6 teenagers in it. They're like, "Yo, Jose!" It was wild, And I've had it happen a few times here, but where I live in Florida, like people are like starstruck, and that's really creepy because I'm a normal dude. Like, I mean, I live in a 3 bedroom, 2 bath house in Sticks in Alabama. I'm a normal person. I mean, you know, I take medicine for my stomach. I'm a normal person. I'm not like, but people do know me, and it's so creepy when I go to the big cities and people are like, you know, they're very, they try to idolize you or something. It's creepy. So if you ever meet somebody famous, like if you ever meet like your favorite artist or something, just say, hey, I like what you do. I know who you are. I love what you do. Have a beautiful day. You know, take a picture. That's always cool with me. You know, but what's creepy is like, yo, you that guy on YouTube. Oh, that's like always like, how do I get this person to go away? Type of thing. You know what I mean? So just keep that in mind. Like if you ever meet somebody famous, like when I used to live in Naples, I worked for people that you see on TV. Like, because there's a lot of really wealthy people there. And it's a retirement hub for the ultra wealthy. So when I lived in Naples, Florida, I worked for people that were like, dude, you don't know who I am? I'm like, what's your name? Oh, that name? Oh, whatever. I mean, I don't watch TV. So my customers, I learned that if, you know, somebody's famous and you work with them directly or you meet them or you get to know them, the best thing you can do is just be normal, you know? Like I worked for one person, and when I got home, I gave Katie the check, and she goes, "You worked for this person?" I was like, "I don't know who they were. Apparently, they were like an astronaut or something." You know, I was like, I hauled their couch away and cleaned their garage for them. I don't know who they were. You know, so yeah, it's kind of good that, you know, I have that understanding because it's definitely gets weird. Let's see here. I seen one of your videos. You talk about scorpions, how bad it is in Alabama. I'm in the Northeast and wonder how I would deal with. Okay, so the scorpions were in the house when we bought it. The first 2 months that we lived in this house, it was terrifying. They were everywhere. In fact, right, the camera's backwards. There, right there, I killed 2 scorpions. One right there, and one right there. I killed 2 scorpions right behind me. Right there, I killed 2 scorpions. But it was because the house sat vacant for a while, and it was like the first few months. In the last 6 months, I've not seen a single scorpion on my inside my house. So the scorpions were at first because the house was vacant. I think what happened was that when the house was vacant, they made a nest in here, and then we went through like a whole hatch. But we put up. In fact, there might be one in there in this closet. We put up these little sticky pads. It's like a little black sticky pad, and it caught them. We got rid of them. So the last 6 months, there's been no more scorpions here. But if you do buy a house that's in the woods and the house has been sitting empty for a while, the first 2 months until you can get rid of them, you're going to run into scorpions. And I think about 3 months ago, I saw one scorpion when I was working way in the back of the property in the yard cleaning trees. I was raking up leaves and I ran into a scorpion. So, but no, that was a thing when I first moved into the house. They were everywhere. It was scary. It was creepy. And actually, I was paranoid. Like it was scary. Like you'd be sleeping, and you'd have to like be careful because when you walked in, it was a nightmare. But no, I haven't even thought about it anymore. And I haven't seen them. That's great. So that was a thing that we've gone through, and yeah. But if scorpions were still hanging around here, it'd be totally creepy. It's really creepy. Hacer que lo que mi pana aquí tranquilo, bro, chilling in Alabama City. Heck yeah, I am the security guard to protect you from people who are being rude. Yeah, man, you like the snob control. I appreciate that. Latinos everywhere like family. Yep. Oh, really? Like New York City. Montour Ranch. Montour Ranch used to be horrible, but it's actually gotten really bad. Let me show you guys where Montour Ranch is real quick. This is a really cool area. It's kind of like a bunch of Cuban rednecks. It's really, there's nothing like it anywhere else in the country. So here's South Florida. There's Fort Myers. There's West Palm Beach, Miami down here. Montour Ranch is right here in the South Central Florida. And it's basically a grid pattern of streets, trailers, mobile home parks, and it's gigantic. And there's like 4,000 people living in the middle of absolutely nowhere. I mean, it's like redneck heaven, but it's all Cubans. It's a really, really weird place because it's like it's a bunch of redneck Cubans that live out in the middle of the sticks. It's really like it's weird. It's kind of like I actually like it. It's kind of redneck, but it's like Latino rednecks. It's really weird out there. Um, I would love to live out there, but the prices of real estate out there are ridiculous. You can see there's a lot of junk. It's probably like 80% Latino. In fact, let's look at some real estate out there. You have to, it's a Clewiston address. The only thing that there is out there is there's a Cuban Montura Ranch Estates. There it is. There's a Cuban restaurant that they just opened here. There's a Steca Montura. Right next to that, they opened a Cuban restaurant. There it is. It's called Chevy Cafeteria. So there it is. It's like a Chevy-themed restaurant. I haven't gone to it yet, but they opened this Chevy-themed Cuban restaurant. You can see they got all the license. They got Kentucky, like, oh crap, they got license plates. See, they got Kentucky, Aruba, Washington. So it's kind of like a Chevy-themed Cuban restaurant. See, these guys are all Cuban. So it's kind of like, oh, this place looks great. Let's say I like Montura Ranch, and I want to go there soon. I almost moved out there, but it didn't work out. It's been on my radar. So there's that Cuban restaurant. There's a pet shop because, you know, there's a bunch of animals, people bringing animals. And then there's a pizza place on the north side. They call this over here, there's a name for this. Oh, Flagpole. This is called Flagpole. So this is Montura, and then this corner is called Flagpole. And then in here there's Joey's Pizza Place, which is probably really good pizza place. Actually, some of the best pizza is really nice. I took some photos here. Actually, I think one of these photos I took, that photo right there, I took that photo. There it is, Jose Rodriguez. So I took that photo. So yeah, I like I said, I love it out there. You're 20 minutes from the Walmart in Clewiston, and then you're close to Immokalee. It's like the middle of nowhere. It's like the wildest place to live in Florida. Let's look at the real estate out there. The problem is how expensive it is to live out there. Like, here's let's find one out there. Like here, this is one in Clewiston right there. So this is a 4-bedroom. It's a trailer. It's a mobile home, and it's $175,000, dude. That's a lot of money to live on a. That's all it is a mobile home. Like, that is expensive. You know what I mean? And somebody might buy it. Like, here's somebody paid. Let's see. Like, here's one. It's a mobile home, 3-2, and it's $130,000. Like, do you know what you get in Alabama for $130,000? So, the reason I didn't move out here is just because it doesn't make sense. Like, to live in it's overpriced. And this one's out there. That's a single wide mobile home. Yeah, that's a single wide, maybe a double wide. Let's see here. It's either a single wide or a double wide mobile home, and it's sold for $150,000. That is, it's a single wide. Look at it. Yeah, a single wide mobile home, and it's sold for $150,000. And the only thing to do out there is the pizza place or the Cuban restaurant. That will get boring very quickly. That's not gonna entertain me. So, yeah. And also if you live in Montura Ranch, you see this wooded area in here. You can buy a pass. I think it's like $55 a year, and you can get a key, and you can ride your ATV all through here. There's 2,500 acres. Another thing about Montura, it's a really close-knit community. Mostly Cubans and a few rednecks, and it's a very close-knit community. I mean, everybody out there knows everybody. Everybody takes care of themselves. If you need a barber, like, this guy's a boat dealer. If you need like a barber, there'll be a barber in here. Like, everything's like low-key. Like, so once you move into Montura, like, there's mechanics, there's barbers, there's people who cook, there's people who sell stuff out of their backyard. So once you move into this community, you get to know people. there's a lot more. Like, see, like if you look at the map, there's only like 4 businesses going on. But if you actually move into there, there's a lot going on. There's more going on in these woods than you could imagine. So, yeah. But again, the problem is just it's so expensive to live out there. It doesn't even make sense. Like here's a new house, a new trailer, 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,000 square foot. That's tiny. It's a tiny mobile home, and it's $160,000. Do you know what that buys you in Alabama? Like, let me just show you guys what $164,000 gets you in Alabama, in a rural area on a similar sized lot, probably. You know what I mean? Let me show you what you get in Alabama. Here's for even less. For even less money, you get a 3-bedroom, 2-bath block house, you know, and it doesn't have a big lot. That's a nice, look at that. That's a great little house. It's not on a big lot, but it's in detail, so it probably has, you know, a rural feel to it. You just get a much better deal in Alabama when it comes to buying properties, you know. So look at this one. Look at that. For $164, you get a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,400 square foot on a decent sized lot in Deatsville, which is kind of country. It is country. Look at this. Look at that. Like, you just get so much more for your money in Alabama. Like, so to me, Montour Ranch kind of didn't make a lot of sense. Let me go through some of these comments real quick. So yeah, Montour Ranch. It's just the math of living in Florida just doesn't add up. I'm very ready for Birmingham to build that 800. They're gonna build an 850. Whoa, for real? They're gonna get a new building in Birmingham? I hadn't heard about that. Hold on, we gotta look that up. I hadn't even heard about that. Let's look it up. New building in Birmingham. I didn't know they were gonna build a new building in Birmingham. Oh, for real? Let me see. Oh, crap. They're going to build this in Birmingham? Man, y'all put me on all types of stuff. Towering 48-story, the block could come to downtown Birmingham. Birmingham, let me tell you, all Birmingham needs is a few big investments to come in. And Birmingham is going to be moving in the right direction. You know? Birmingham has a lot of potential. Birmingham, Alabama has a lot of potential. I mean, I tell you, it really does. And once, you know, eventually, I think Birmingham has a lot of, to me, it seems like Birmingham has a lot of potential. Let me go through some of these comments real quick, y'all. What is the temperature like year-round in Alabama? Where I'm at right now, like the overnight lows get into the 30s, but I don't even have to turn the heater on. The house is more insulated, so I sleep. I love it, actually. I actually love it here because, like, the overnight lows, the daylight, like in the winter, it's been like December, like the worst of winter. The overnight lows are in the 30s, and in the daytime highs are upper 50s to like 60. We've gotten a few really crappy days. Like, I think there was a day where the high temperature was like 43 or 42, or maybe like, I don't know. Like, we had one day where the high temperature was like 48 or something. I can't remember. But I actually like it. Like, in the winter, I'm actually going to miss the winter because, man, you sleep so good. Like, I don't have to turn the heater on when it gets into the 30s. We can just cuddle up, and in the morning, I'll turn the heater on in the morning when I wake up. I actually love it. I really do. I like it a lot. I'm very ready for Birmingham. And it's gonna be 850 foot tall. That is tall. That's gonna be like, it's gonna like every other building in Birmingham, and that's all it takes. Like, one person builds a 850 foot building in Birmingham, and then somebody else is gonna build another one. And next thing you know, the whole city starts to change. That's a great investment. I mean, for somebody to do that there, Alabama is ready to take over. I'm telling you, because the math of living here works out. I'm just afraid that if too many people come here, they're gonna ruin it, like they've ruined other places. But every state is different. Like you can't like Georgia. A lot of people move to Georgia, but it's still Georgia. You know, Florida. It's lost a lot, but it's still Florida. Like every state still has its own rules, its own culture, customs. So maybe it won't be too bad in Alabama. Who knows? Who knows? But Birmingham needs it. I mean, Birmingham is a city of 1 million people. They need to grow and they need to have good things going on. So, no doubt about that. Try licorice, the herbs. Check out doctor before you take it. Digestive enzymes. Yeah, I'm done with whatever. I don't even. Yeah, I want to talk about medicine right now. And that's our code. We clearly know who you are, but you're not going to be a fanboy, fangirl about it. We take personal space very seriously. Yeah, that's the thing, you know. It's like, yo, just give people respect and decency. Like, you know, like I've met really important people, and like you just give them treat them like a normal human being. You know, like I don't. Fame is weird. It's hard to deal with. Jay Scott says, "Man, I know you're not lying, bro. I found a few scorpions in a pallet of brick once. After stopped running, yeah, it's scary. My cousin lives there, Montura, and she wants me to move there. I want to change to Port St. Lucie from Montura, but so many people moving to Port St. Lucie, I'm actually thinking about it. Well, Rachel, the thing about Montura is, one, it floods. Two, it's backwards as crap. It's getting better, but you got a pizza place and a Cuban restaurant. The people seem to mind their own business. No tanta chusmería. Like, it's not as, like, people aren't all up in your business because it's small town, but it's kind of, like, rural small town, so people, I don't know. I would probably want to be somewhere more civilized. Closer to restaurants. Living in a place there's only 2 places to go. I don't know. I don't know if I could do that. I mean, I was ready for change. So I considered Montura because I just wanted to do something different. It's just very isolated. There's nothing there. Like, I'm in Alabama, where it's more country than Montura, but I just went to Publix. I'm 15 minutes from a Publix. You are like hour and a half from a Publix in Montura. I don't know if you're right. It takes a special type of person to live in a place that isolated, you know? And it's expensive. It makes no sense. Your money goes a lot further in Alabama. Yeah, and we got the 2022 World Games. Alabama's got good stuff in its future. It really does. Just wondering, why don't you have Alabama in your profile picture? That's a very good question. Ellis Cole. Okay, so when I was making my logo for my channel, let me find that real quick. Here's the logo for my channel. Okay, that's a really good question. I'm glad you brought it up. Eventually, there it is. So that's well, you guys are seeing stuff I haven't released yet. Okay, so that's the logo for my channel right there. Now, that logo, I made it like at 2 in the morning on one of those. The reason it doesn't have Alabama is because Alabama did not make, the shape of Alabama didn't fit. It didn't look right. I wanted to have Alabama and Florida, but Alabama is square and Florida's, it didn't make sense. Like, if you look at the shape of Alabama on a map, it just doesn't add up. So that's why we ended up with Georgia and on here instead of Florida. I made this logo. We had a situation with branding because the channel used to be called Florida Hood Vlogs. And when I moved to Alabama, it made no sense for the channel to be called Florida Hood Vlogs when I'm in Alabama now. So we had to change the name to something that would be more kind of more further reaching. So Georgia fit right in here, perfect. See how like it kind of fit in here, really nicely. Like Alabama's square, so there's no way I could put both states. It just didn't make sense. So that's why we ended up with Alabama. And by the way, houses are getting expensive here in Alabama. They're going up in prices. So I did a really well in buying when I bought. Like Florida is ridiculous. Like back where I was in Naples, I just can't believe how ridiculous Florida's got where I used to live. And they can keep it. For all I care, they can keep it. It's just more than I can handle. But it's gotten ridiculous down there. Like, here's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath where I used to live. On a small lot, it's $450,000. It just makes no sense. I'm never going to be able to afford that. It does have a pool. Look how small. It's got a pool, but look how small the yard is. Like, you can literally see your neighbor's roof over that fence yard. Like, you're just... It's for rich people. Like, it's for really rich people and who don't travel and who... Well, as much as I travel, I need to be like where I'm at now. So, yeah, it just doesn't make sense for me. By the way, today was a rainy day. I stayed home all day for the first time in I don't know how long. But yeah, prices just don't make sense. Like $400,000 to live with neighbors 5 feet away from your house. You know what I mean? Yeah, buddy. You can sleep on your front porch outside in Alabama. I did it a few nights ago. I did it like for the first time. It was I slept on my front porch. I did that a few nights ago. I went, I burned a couch on my front lawn, and it was like 2 in the morning. I burned a couch, and I sat there till like 4 in the morning outside. I slept outside for 4 hours. The temperature was perfect. I got a few mosquito bites, and one of the mosquito bites turned into a pimple. There it is, right there. I got a mosquito bite right there, and it turned into a pimple. Like I slept out on my front porch. So yeah, you can do that in Alabama. I love the weather here. I don't care what you tell me. The weather in Alabama is perfect, and especially where I live, because since I'm kind of like in the mountains in the hills and stuff, I'm in a hole where like even if like it's like it could be 28 degrees, and I go outside and it feels good. Like I don't know what it is about the exact place where I live, but it's actually great where I live. If I didn't spend the first 10 years of my adult life buying junk, I could have had my own house and property out by now, but could have made a lick off the difference. I started saving though. Yeah, you got to start getting responsible. It's raining and cold in Birmingham right now as we speak. I love it though. I can hear the rain right now falling. So I'm about 65, 70 miles south of Birmingham. I can hear, because I'm on the north side of Montgomery, so I can hear the rain right outside my window. I love it. I can hear it raining outside right now. I love it. The sound of rain is so relaxing. The temperature right now, it's like in the 40s or something. It's amazing. Like, it's too cold to be outside without a sweat. I love it. It makes you feel healthy and full of life. I don't have a complaint about the weather in Alabama. Let me tell you that. I've enjoyed this Alabama weather a lot, and I'm gonna miss the winter months. Let me see what else we got here. Here in Detroit, they're building a Goldie Highway Bridge. That's cool. We got to go up to Katie was born in Ann Arbor. Katie was born in Ann Arbor, so we need to go up to Detroit eventually. Maybe this summer we'll get up to Detroit. Hey, yo, Mike. Hey, what's up, Mike? Nice to have you on here, my brother. Mike, man, that's my boy right there. Me and him. Me and Mike, we go fishing out in the Everglades. We go fishing out in LaBelle. Good people, man. I got a lot of respect for Mike, man. Like his kids, the way he's raised his kids. I've never met anybody with so much, like, his kids are so respectful. I admire this man a lot. He's a retired police officer down there in Florida. Me and him were fishing buddies. In fact, when I go down to Florida next time, we and him got to get together and go fishing. So, I love you, man. You and your family. You guys are amazing. I mean, I just admire the way you've raised your kids to be respectful and everything, especially in Florida. Like, you don't see that. Like when I, when I first met Mike, I was just, it's just the most incredible people I've ever met. You know, so it's nice to have you here, man. Yeah, great people, man. It's people like Mike that, you know, there's great people in Florida. It hurts to be away from where you're from, but at the same time, there's just, you just, to get ahead, you got to do stuff you don't want to do, you know. And I'm not going to say I was ready for an adventure, so I'm glad I'm in Alabama and meeting new people over here. And there's great people all over the world, whether it's Florida. Anywhere you go, you're going to meet great people. They're out there. You just got to find them. Like in Florida, where I was dealing with people that are disrespectful and rude, and they flick you off in traffic. And then here you got Mike and his family, the most decent people you're ever going to meet, man. And he lives in near not quite in Montura, but near Montura. So lots of great fishing out there. The freshwater fishing out there is incredible. Oh, that's a one plus about Montura Ranch and that whole area out there is the fishing. Yeah, it's a great logo. It's eye-catching. It's bright. It's yellow. It's clear to identify. It's got Florida and it's got Georgia, which are two really popular Southeast states. The thing about not going with the Alabama on this logo, it's just, when you look at it, it's just, I couldn't make the logo make sense. So I'm glad I was able to throw Georgia in there. And I like Georgia a lot too, but you know, it's just Georgia's being encroached upon by a lot of people, so it's a rapidly changing state. Too many people move there, and then now it's a changing place. Where Alabama is just standing still, hopefully, not changing too rapidly. Thank you, brother. I really appreciate it, man. And you've been supporting me like on all my channels. You and your wife are like family, man. Yeah, you're like family. Like when I run down to Florida, next time I run down to Florida, we're gonna get together. We're gonna go fishing, man. And I told you too, whenever you want to come to Alabama, mi casa es tu casa. Like, you come up here and it just sucks how this whole COVID thing's got us all. It sucks. Do you miss Florida fishing? Oh, no doubt. The fishing in Florida is so much better. I've been here for 6 months. I haven't caught a single fish. 6 months here, not a single fish, not a bass, not a smallmouth, nothing. Now, what I'm going to do is, once the weather gets into the 80s again, upper 70s, once the weather like levels out, I'm going to rent a boat and I'm going to spend the whole entire day on Lake Martin. And I'm going to spend half a day on Lake Purdy in Birmingham. I take it for $135, you can rent a pontoon for 3 hours. This is my office. I'll open this door. Hey there. I got this door open, alright? I got this door open because it's kind of it feels kind of weird in here. Yeah, I'm doing a live stream. Open this door, get some fresh air flowing through here. But yeah, you know, the fishing in Alabama has not been as good as the fishing in, you can't, South Florida fishing is probably the best fishing in the country, probably, you know, so you can't really compare, you can't really compare South Florida fishing to Alabama fishing. Alabama just doesn't have fishing like Florida. South Florida fishing is the best. But so when I go down to Florida, me and Mike, we're gonna get together and we're gonna hit up some spots in LaBelle, maybe out in the Everglades. And you have to understand, like, to me, forget about the beaches and all those little. To me, Florida is fishing freshwater in the Everglades. Okay? Bottom line, that is Florida for me. And not just that, but also, you know, there's saltwater fish in. You could be 50 miles inland out in the Everglades. You could be fishing 50 miles inland. You can catch a saltwater fish 50 miles inland because the fish come up the canals. The fishing down there is insane. But let's wait until the weather improves a little bit. I'm going to rent a boat and I'm going to go out in the Lake Martin and let's see what happens with Alabama fishing. We're going to give Alabama a fair shot with fishing. But I can tell you, it seems like Florida, you know, South Florida fishing is incredible. Yeah, I know it's in the 70s and 80s in Florida, pero hay una pila de gente from New Jersey and Nueva York, everywhere. You can keep that for now. Yo espero un mes, okay? No me estés agitando. Nothing like fishing in the Everglades. Yeah, fishing Florida freshwater, it's just incredible. It's hard to compare it. U.S. Patriot, Panella's getting more pricey, depending on your looking. Might as well go to Pasco, to be honest. Just stay away from West Pasco, growing up in Nelson Pasco. Yeah, I mean, Pasco County used to be like, people in Tampa, like I got family in Tampa, and they were like, oh, Pasco County, it was this great, incredible place to be. And now you're like, yeah, somehow Pasco County is actually worse than Tampa now. Yeah, you definitely want to avoid West Pasco. And actually, even East Pasco County has some rough. Hey, Katie, can you bring me water? Maybe? Katie? Can you bring me a water? Eventually. I could probably go for a water. Have you fished Indian River? Yes, I did fish Indian River, and I caught nothing. I did a trip in probably 2014. I was coming along Jacksonville. I did Indian River, Daytona Beach. I fished all along that whole area, and I hit nothing. I was hoping to get some redfish. Yeah, I fished all along the East Coast there. I've caught nothing. I'm going to be honest, most of my travel fishing trips have been horrible. I fish really well where I'm from in my area, but when I travel to other places, I've done fishing trips in Tampa, I've caught nothing. Orlando, nothing. Georgia, nothing. Alabama, nothing. The only place where I've managed to pull fish out of the water is South Florida. When I went to North Florida, we did a 2-week fishing trip all over the Big Bend area, like Trenton, Sheafland, Denellen, all that. I caught a bowfin in Denellen, and I caught a small bass in Sheafland. And I'm talking like a 2-week fishing trip, 2 fish. Yeah. So my fishing trips usually don't go very well. Moved from Miami to Lakeland about 5 years ago. Cool. Susie Q, you're not far from me. Susie Q says she's in Lakeland, Florida. Tell me how clear the water is in the Everglades. Oh, man. Me and Mike got this spot in the Everglades that we've been to together. And this spot, one day I went, my buddy Mike, that spot where the water's clear, it's a place me and Mike fishing down there. I mean, like, it's a quarry in the middle of the Everglades. And it goes for miles and miles. And there's like 7 large lakes. The water is so clear. There's a spot that's about 70 feet deep. And me and my other buddy Scott, he has a pontoon boat. Now you're not allowed to put, not a pontoon, like a John boat. You're not allowed to put a motorized boat in these lakes. So nothing motorized is allowed on these lakes. So we get an electric battery and we have a trolling motor and we go way out to the spot. And there's a dump truck. A whole dump truck that when they left it in the quarry, when the quarry filled up, and you can see the water's so clear that in 70 feet of water you can like see a dump truck at the bottom. And I actually at one point I published where this lake was, and people went in there and they fished it and they cleared it out. Everything that you could keep they kept, so they ruined it. I put it on the internet and I said, look, I'm going to share this fishing spot with you guys, so you guys can enjoy with your family this fishing spot. The only thing that I ask is, do catch and release. Somebody went in there and they cleared the lake. There's nothing keepable left in the lake. It's horrible how like I had this one lake way out in the woods where I used to live in Florida, Naples. Probably about 2 miles from. I'll show you guys where this lake is. Let's see here. So let's go back to Naples. So here's Naples. And there's a lake in the woods right here. So I used to live, you can see there's all this white stuff here. These are all mobile home parks. So I used to live inside this mess right here. And you can see there's these two lakes, right? This one's green and this one's not green. I don't know why this one's green. And maybe because this one's sandy and this one's got more garbage in it. So there's these two lakes out in the woods, which I grew up fishing as a child a lot. Here's the Dunes rope swing. Somebody actually put it on Google. See, somebody actually put it on Google Maps. That's crazy. Overran by jits. So somebody actually put it on Google Maps. But this lake here, you got me water?
Yeah.
Thank you. That's the lake right there where I would do a lot of fishing. There's these two lakes. Right there. Way out in the middle of the woods. I was going to tell a story. Somebody says, if you want to catch some fish, there are some small runoff rivers in the Alpine, Alabama, where they turn those motors in the dam and you're guaranteed to catch something. All right, cool. Alpine, Alabama. I'll look into that. But these two lakes, I fish these lakes a lot. And there's a giant on this lake. Oh, yeah. So this lake right here, here's my story. So these two lakes, they're really hard to get into. Like, to get into these lakes, you have to go way the crap over here. On this dead-end road, you go through there's a trail right through the woods. You can see it right there. You go through this trail through the woods, which you can barely even see. And big houses. Look at the size of those houses back in there. All the way back out to these lakes. So this family from North Florida found out about it because there's Gargulio's is right over here. There's Gargulio, and you see these mobile homes right in here. This is like, let me drink this water real quick. I need to drink some water. So this is like agricultural workers, like like migrant workers. So they brought these migrant workers from North Florida, and every single fish in these two lakes, they spent 3 entire weeks fishing back here. And every single fish, from brim, bass, tilapia, they even caught a few fish that I didn't even know were in these lakes. It was like these giant pink tilapias. I never even knew these fish were in this lake. Every single fish in these two lakes, they used live worms, and they cleared these 2 entire lakes. They caught everything that was in these 2 lakes, to the point where I never was able to fish these 2 lakes again to be as good as they were. They caught every single fish in these 2 lakes. Like, I hate when people do that. Like, they'll clear the lakes out, But there's this place I used to fish in Naples. Here it is. This is like an ocean in here. These lakes. It's a gated community. It's called the Quarry. But I used to fish in here. I mean, it's so big that the houses have boat docks. Like, some of these houses even have boat docks. That's how big these lakes are. But I used to know somebody that worked in here, and they gave me the security code. I mean, these are giant lakes, and I used to fish these lakes all the time. But I've fished the Quarry a lot. This is the Quarry in Naples. Great fishing all through there. But you got to have a plug to get you in. Somebody that lives in there. So you can't just go in there. You have to know somebody. And unfortunately, I don't have my connection anymore. But I used to get in here all the time and fish these lakes. Because I knew somebody that would get me in. Really incredible. I mean, look how big they are. You can, like, zoom out. Look at the whole city. You can see how big those lakes are. Alright, so let's run back over here again. Millbrook, Alabama, which is where I live now. Millbrook, Alabama. See, everything's contingent where I live. Like, houses are selling like crazy here. This one's this one's back on the market. I guess it fell through. See, this house right here, I guess it fell through. This one was on the market. This one for $180. It was contingent, but somehow it fell through. It's like, look, everything is contingent out here. That's crazy. Let me read some of these comments. Got sucked under the Skyway Bridge and hooked as I wave bait aside. Used to push, pull their boat. Oh my god, that's so crazy. Worry about pets too. Kids, blessed. Couldn't believe years ago I just lay next to the road in the ditches in Orlando. Second time seeing a crocodile in the Everglades. Yeah, there's crocodiles, man. Be careful with the crocodiles. Need to restock. Terrible. Outgoing tide at night. Sharks in the water. Hardly low light. Crazy thing. Oh yeah, man. You gotta be so careful out there in Florida. I mean, you got alligators. You got. I was fishing a spot one time way down here. Here's Goodland, Florida. So I was fishing. There's Goodland. This is way out at the bottom of Florida. Like, here's the Everglades. There's like nothing out here, right? So Goodland is a little town in the middle of nowhere. I did a video in Goodland. I'm going to have to go back and do another one. This is a really neat town. They got destroyed by Hurricane Irma. Hurricane Irma, you can see all the blue tarps. Hurricane Irma landed right here. So there's like, they got really destroyed by Hurricane Irma. But I was fishing right here. I was fishing. There's a sandbar. See how there's a sandbar on this side? There's a sandbar over here as well on this side. You can't see it now because the water's not low enough. But there's a sandbar right here. And I was fishing the sandbar. And the tide changed. And I actually had a crocodile. Let me see if I can show you guys this fishing spot. There's a sandbar. You can kind of see it right there. There's a sandbar right there. And I was fishing it. And I had about a 12-foot alligator that got between the land and me, and he wouldn't let me get back on the land. And the tide started to rise. So, like, let's say if you're on the sandbar, like, pretend this is the sandbar. Like, you're here, right? You're here on the sandbar. You got to cross the canal to get back to land, right? So, I'm on the sandbar, which is actually over here, but you can't see it yet. But let's just pretend it was over here. I'm on the sandbar, and the alligator, about a 12-foot alligator, got between me. And if I walked it, he was following me around. And the tide was rising, and once the tide rises, this is all underwater. So this is all, like you see all this right here, how it's over water. When the tide comes in, it'll be underwater. So the tide started coming in, and I was like, yo, this alligator boxed me in. And eventually what I had to do was, I just ran for it, and I ran back over here. And I was hitting the alligator upside the head with my fishing pole, because it was trying to box me in. So you got to be really careful when you're fishing Florida. Because like I said, either alligators, stingrays, it's crazy out there. It's wild. I mean, fishing Florida is wild. Good memories down there. It really hurts to be away from the place that I have so many memories in. But I just wasn't living right. Like, when I look at how I'm living now in Alabama, like, it hurts not to be back home. It really does. I got my fishing buddies that I already got new fishing buddies up here, but, you know, my fishing buddies from Florida, I go way back with them, you know. It hurts, you know. I got people that are like family down there. It really hurts, but I wasn't living right. You know what I mean? Like, I just wasn't living right. Like, I have a nice, decent house now. I have work. You know, I'm able to see doctors for my medicines. Man, we were living like, we just weren't living right in Florida. I was living bad. I mean, look at me now. Like, I just can't believe how much, like, positive changes we've had in our life. We got a decent house, decent cars. We're just living so much better here. Making more income. The weather is nicer. You know, back in Florida, that heat and humidity, it was bad. It really was. Now I have like this little room. I got a 3-bedroom, 2-bath house. This is my office. I have a room that's just for my office. You know? I'm living so much better. I was living in a single-wide mobile home in a really crappy neighborhood. Work was bad. We were pretty much starving at times. You know, sometimes I had to borrow money to have food in Florida. You know what I mean? I've been up here for 8 months, and I haven't had to ask anybody for anything. You know what I mean? In Florida, every other month I had to borrow $100 from somebody just to have food or to pay a bill. You know what I mean? Like, you know how embarrassing it is to go to your cousin and be like, yo, they're going to cut my light bill. Can I please borrow $200 for a week or two? It's freaking embarrassing. And it's not like you weren't trying. I was trying. I was working like an animal. And it's just, it was never enough. You know, like, so it hurts to be away from like my fishing buddies, the places where I made memories and grew up in. But I wasn't living right in Florida. And it's not because I wasn't trying. It's just that it's too competitive. There's too many people that want to live in one place and they're willing to do whatever it takes to live there. Where nobody's all that crazy about living in Alabama, so there's not much competition to live here. So yeah, it's not that I miss. And the other thing is, like right now, if I wanted to go to Florida, I can pack my bags and I could be there tomorrow. You know what I mean? I can go to Florida as much. I can go to. In the last we've been here for 8 months. We've gone to Florida like 4 or 5 times. We've gone to Tennessee, Kentucky, Mississippi, Georgia. Yo, when we were in Florida, we couldn't leave the state whenever we wanted to. We could barely leave the city when we, you know what I mean? So we're living a lot better here. And I tell a lot of the young people, if you're young like me, I'm 30 years old. No, 31 now. Whew. Hey, am I 30 or 30? How old am I? I'm 31, right? You're 31 years old. I'm an old man already. You know what I mean? I'm 31 years old, man. I'm an old man already. You know, if you're a young person like me, want to join, baby?
No, I just wanted to point out your gray hairs.
I don't have gray hairs. Where? What gray hairs? Where? I see one right there. Look at my beard. I'm an old man. But if you're young like me, you know.
Hey, everyone.
So, grab a chair and join us, Katie. Grab a chair. So if you're young like me, Alabama really offers you a whole lot more as far as livability. You know, you might want to, I don't know, just have in here.
Fix it.
You gotta back up. That's all you gotta do. Simply, you gotta back up. But yeah,
oh, I became your footrest?
Yeah, for a fact.
Yeah.
But you know, like, if you're young and you want to really do something different in your life, you might want to consider Alabama because the livability in Florida is so bad. You know, we just weren't living right.
Yeah.
Let me go through some of these comments here. Ooh, we got a lot of people. We got 43 people on board.
Great. Hey, everyone.
We got Katie. Man, hush. I'll be 48 Saturday. No, Mike. But I'm proud of you, Mike. Man, you lost so much weight. You actually inspired me to lose weight. But I lost 30 pounds, right? 30? And I gained 10 back. So I gained 10 pounds back, but I'm working on it, I guess. It's hard. I need to be on a better diet. What? What are you laughing at?
Your grocery shopping adventure today?
What about my grocery shopping?
He bought 2 packages of Publix cookies. One was 13.
Yeah, man, I did that.
The other was 24. Lemon muffins. These churro things. And that wasn't even... there's something else I am missing. But that's how much sugar he bought.
What's the problem? Am I supposed to eat that?
No one's supposed to eat that much sugar.
Oh, no one? What's wrong with eating a little bit of sugar once in a while?
In moderation, not in, like, that much.
I'm trying.
Apparently not.
Mike has lost 139 pounds so far. Let's get a clap. Yeah, man, I'm proud of you, man. Like, you're doing so, like, that's a real, like, that's what you do for your family. You know what I mean? Like, if you really love your family, you do that. You lose weight for them. Like, I'm proud of Mike. Everybody, let's get a clap for real for Mike.
Yeah.
He's lost 139 pounds.
Yeah, I keep trying, but it doesn't work. I'm trying to do this, like, weird breakfast thing, but... And then...
Kitty exposing people out here. Yeah, Kitty snitch, man. I mean, you know, let me tell you. Hold on real quick. white women have a lot of benefits. There's a lot of benefits to having yourself your own personal white women.
How am I cool?
Gotcha. So getting your own white women, if you get your own white women, there's a lot of benefits to having your own white woman. One of the bad things about white women is that they will snitch you out.
Well, I think you need to take me to Starbucks again.
You should snitch me out on my grocery shopping. I'm over here talking about losing weight, and you're over here snitching me out on my grocery shopping. You're talking about how I'm buying sugar. That's the one thing about white women. Like, they're very good investments. Don't get me wrong. Get you a white woman. But, you know, on the downside, they will snitch you out. They'll snitch you out about your diet. They'll snitch you out. If they'll snitch you out to the police if there's a situation. I'm just saying, like, and everything's got pros and cons, and one of the cons of having a white woman is that they will snitch you out. They will not, you know, you're not going to be able to have a low key. Like, if you've been cheating on your diet and they know about it, you've been cheating on your diet. Yeah, they'll snitch you out.
Yeah.
For a fact. But I'm really proud of you, Mike. Man, you're doing a great job, man. And you inspire me. You really have, man. Stop snitching me out. See, you snitched me out. Now look. I'm inspired by him.
Yeah.
Not able to, like, turn it into action yet, but I mean, like.
Yeah, Jose. I know what you think of as a diet is still extremely unhealthy.
It's not easy. So, with more reason, my respects to Mike. I mean, it's not easy. It really isn't. It's not easy, but I do feel that I need to put more effort into this.
Mm-hmm.
Because.
How about you follow what I want to follow?
You're good at diets. When you did your diet back in Florida, you lost what? How many?
60 pounds.
You know, I thought when we came over here, you would start doing that again. And
I want to. The only thing the weather is different in like smoothies every day when it's 40 degrees does not work for me. So I'm trying to do something a little different. I just have to contend with this. I'm doing this breakfast thing where I start off with warm lemon water, then have celery juice, then like raw, like I'll have like cucumber and some berries, and then like avocado toast.
I ain't eating that crap. I'll do the avocado toast. That's about it.
Yeah, you'll do avocado toast, but I can put.
Why can't you do a diet like grapes and stuff that tastes good?
You can do grapes.
You know, like you're trying to get me to eat these weird like celery. I ain't gonna eat no celery juice. I'd rather die. Like in all honesty, if I had to eat celery juice to live, I'd probably die, man.
It helps your stomach. It does. It would probably get rid of your ulcers.
I gotta do something. These stomach ulcers are killing me.
Yeah, I told you. Why don't you do what I do? And see if it works. Maybe it'll work.
I don't have the willpower. I did it for a while. Remember when I lost 30 pounds?
Yeah.
When I first came to Alabama, I lost 30 pounds.
I can do that again for you because I was doing the cooking. And then you can't show up with a bunch of sugar.
All it takes is being around you. You want to eat it all. You want to eat barbecue. Like you're just a bad influence.
We're a bad influence on each other.
Mm-hmm. Like I lost 30 pounds.
I feel like I start out good during the day. Like I start out good, and then it goes bad.
No willpower. No willpower.
You don't have willpower either.
I'm talking about me. Yeah, I don't have the willpower to do it anymore. It's horrible. I don't. Like, I want to do it, but, like, I just can't. I think
I have to do the grocery shopping because this doesn't really work. I have to go up to Publix and get us a bunch of fish. Yes, you will go back to eating fish every day.
I don't know what to do.
Fish and vegetables and no rice.
I don't know what to do.
Fish, vegetables, no rice. And then you can keep doing your breakfast thing, but we add like the
My
lemon
breakfast
water
ain't
and
bad.
celery.
Let's be honest. My breakfast is good.
Mhm.
I have an avocado with gluten-free pancakes. That's not bad, is it? And water.
You have honey with it.
Honey's not bad.
It's not,
Honey's not
but
bad.
you also need to add different things.
Okay, the honey's not bad. If I
No,
was
it's
using
not.
syrup or like what's that stuff that people put in their
No,
pancakes?
but I do think you should incorporate some other things to your diet. Like, we're going to have
Grapes?
to eat, like
Like
fish,
tomorrow,
grapes.
for my breakfast tomorrow, I could do my avocado
Mhm.
with honey and my pancakes and the grapes.
Yeah.
That's not wrong with my breakfast. The
No,
problem is later on in the day,
is when we have issues.
I want a burger. I want Mexican food. And
Yeah.
Alabama, you guys mentioned it there in the comments. Alabama is a hard place because all you want is the burgers and the barbecue and the Mexican burger. Mexican, well, it's like, yo, it's hard. It's hard here in Alabama.
I've come to the conclusion I can't do the diet I did when I was 24.
Blackhawk says we love Katie.
Hey, yeah.
I struggle to drink one bottle of water. Like I'm
You're turning into your dad.
my health problems are so bad with my stomach ulcers and
Yeah.
all that I know I have to do something.
Yeah, you have to definitely drink more water. I mean, you can't be like your dad where you're uncomfortable after one bottle of water.
Yeah. Like I've been trying to drink this bottle of water. Like, look how much I drink. It's just not enough.
I don't have problems drinking water. I've never had issues with that.
Yeah. Mike says I drink water even when I don't want it, and you can eat rice, just portion control.
Yeah.
Portion control, that's another thing.
Like, I'll make him a plate, and then he'll come back for more.
And then when we travel, that's the worst thing about
Yeah.
it. Yo, we're traveling in the South. When you go to these towns, they don't have, all they have is like a barbecue place and a burger place.
It was, like, I remember one place, like, I wanted to eat healthy, but my options were beef or fried. And
We're traveling around the South. It is horrible.
I think, we're going to have to stop earlier. And a lot of these hotels have kitchens, and then I'm just going to have to, like, stop at Publix or something.
Yeah. Now, when it comes to eating, Alabama's pretty crappy. And actually, like, even Montgomery has, what's the one we used to have in Naples, the big one, the really expensive, fancy one?
What are you talking about?
The one in Montgomery that's really, like, fancy. There was one in Mercado. The store, the big fancy store.
What big? Oh, Whole Foods?
Whole Foods, yeah. There's a Whole Foods in Montgomery, but it's garbage. They don't even have bison.
Yeah.
You know, like... So, in this live stream, it's been a long haul.
I want to go to the other room.
Cool, it's all good. I'm tired. You want to close the door?
Yeah, close the door.
Cool. So, if you close the bed, you left it open. Close the door. Close the door, man. So, alright guys, so we got 45 people watching. I wanted to show you guys some real estate before I left. I know we're kind of on a... No real estate?
Yeah.
Alright. I'm going to show you guys some real estate before I let you guys go. Let's see some of these comments here. From the northern dump called Vermont. I don't think Vermont's a dump. The Whole Foods is on the south side of town. Oh, yeah, that Whole Foods there, they don't really have too much going on. Let's look real quick at the real estate before I let you guys go. Now let's look at Tennessee. We were just in Tennessee. Come on. Come on. Columbia, Tennessee. There it is. We were just there. Let me see what it's looking like out there. So this ain't bad. It's not pretty or nothing. 150. Yeah, it doesn't even have photos, so it's gonna be trashed on the inside. We were just over here in Tennessee, and let me tell you, it's a lot more expensive than Alabama. Like, this little house right here, $220. This little house would be like half that here in Alabama. That little house would be half that here in Alabama. So a lot of people are still looking at Tennessee. It's supposedly it's the #1 state people are moving to. Vermont is beautiful. Yeah, the prices, you can't beat the prices. You just can't beat the prices of houses in Alabama. Here's Tennessee. This house in Alabama will be worth half as much. And probably, it's a nice little house. It's just a little old Cape Cod look. It's not even a Cape Cod. It's too small to be a Cape Cod. It's like a little miniature Cape Cod. This house is $220,000 in Tennessee. We were just in this town. It's a nice little town, but it's not like I couldn't believe this house. Look. By the way, they get snow in Tennessee. We haven't got snow like this yet here in Alabama. But they get considerable snow. 3-bedroom, 1 bath. 1,000 square foot house. It's a tiny little house. And it's $200,000. Now, they're really well kept and all that. They're not in bad shape. But man, $200,000 doesn't even have appliances. So you're going to spend a little bit more getting in here. And it is outdated. It's neat. It's clean, well kept, but it's not like modern. It's an old little house. You know? I love that barn, man. That's great stuff right there. Look at the wood inside that barn. It does have character. But you could probably get this little house here in Alabama for like $70,000 less. You know what I mean? So that's the one thing. Like, look at this one. It's just a 3-2, 1,700 square foot house. It doesn't have a front porch. It doesn't have anything like.
Yeah.
What do you think about the house?
Way overpriced.
I agree. You know, I totally agree. We got Katie back.
Hey.
We got Katie back. So yeah, what do you think about this little house right here, Katie?
Way overpriced.
Right.
I mean, does it have like 40 acres attached?
It doesn't. It's half an acre. This is in Columbia, Tennessee. We were just there.
Yeah.
We did a video. Let me zoom out to show you guys where that's at. We were just there. I can't believe how fast my internet's working recently. It's been getting better. It's still kind of slow. We got a lot going on this page. So we're going to fly all the way. Here's Nashville. Alright, so there's Nashville. And it's kind of like at the end of the Nashville. You know, it's part of the Nashville metropolitan area, but it's really far out. You know, it's just a nice little, nice little southern town. Nothing incredible. It had really good stats for income, didn't it, though? It had really good stats for income.
Yeah.
But still, wouldn't you say that that's kind of a lot of money for that little house? I mean, look, it's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath.
It's on half an acre.
Yo, it's almost $280,000.
Mm-hmm.
It's nice.
It is.
On the inside, it's nice, but the outside, it's just a box.
Yeah.
This house couldn't make it to $200,000 in Alabama.
Mm-mm.
This house would be $100,000 less in Alabama.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I like how they remodeled it, but it's
got a base in it, too.
What?
You don't see too many basements here.
Ooh,
The
I
ground's
like
too wet.
basements.
Yeah, the ground's too wet for a basement here. But even with a basement,
Signal lost.
you lost signal? On your side, I'm good. How's the signal lost? Has anybody else lost signal? I think we're good.
I'm good.
I'm watching. I don't know.
I'm watching myself.
Yeah.
So
There's
a little bit of a delay.
There's a little bit of delay. I mean, we're out in the woods, so
Yeah,
it's like an outer suburb. I'm on my brother. I'll call you tomorrow. Gotta go tell you something. Be safe, everybody. Have a good time. Hey, I love you, Mike. You and your family, bro. Stay out of trouble. Keep losing that weight, man. Keep working out. If anybody else is having trouble with the signal, let me know. I think it's way overpriced.
yeah.
But that's what it costs to live in Tennessee. I mean, Tennessee is considerably more expensive. But then, what's crazy about Columbia, Tennessee, is the new house prices aren't that bad.
Mm-hmm.
And that's usually the case everywhere.
Yeah.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
Like, you notice how, like, in an area that'll be... You'll notice an area that'll be really expensive for old houses, but new houses anywhere in the country, like where it's Alabama, Florida... new prices on houses kind of correlate very well throughout the whole country.
Yeah.
What do you think about this new house? It's
I love that blue.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh, I love the blue. I wanted to paint our siding that color, but our guy said he wouldn't do it. He just won't do it.
Yeah. If we do as well as we think we're gonna do, why don't we just put new siding on the house? It's like cracked in a bunch of places.
Yeah, we could. Yeah, we could put new siding. It's not cheap, and I know how to do it myself. I wouldn't even have to hire somebody to do it. Yeah, I've done siding. Mm-hmm. That's one thing I know how to do.
And that siding could be a project for you and your dad. You don't want to repeat the last. Yeah.
First of all, every time me and my dad do something together, he ends up getting hurt.
Someone ends up in the emergency.
So somebody always gets hurt.
He has a scar right here.
My dad, yeah.
Yeah, you.
Oh, I do?
Yeah.
What was that from? When I hit myself when we did the truck?
Yeah. You both ended up getting hurt. Yeah, Dad got hurt twice, and you got hurt once.
Can you still see that?
Yeah. I know, because you have like a dent.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I hit myself upside the head with... Yeah, we always end up getting... He blew up his finger on that same truck. Me and my dad, when we do projects...
And then he ended up in the emergency room for his eye.
Yeah. Look, this one's on 4 acres, and it's $650,000. 4 acres is not a lot of land. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, it really gets expensive when you cross into Tennessee.
Yeah.
It gets really expensive. You want to read some of these most recent comments here?
We've read them. Signal loss was the last one. Signal loss on my end.
Some people are saying the same thing. So yeah, Tennessee, it's nice, but it's a lot more expensive. And it seems like a more chaotic life than Alabama. Mm-hmm. It really does.
So, look at our drinking water. You're going to see something really interesting on it.
What about it?
Read it.
Purified? This is from Publix, right?
No, this is from Winn-Dixie.
Winn-Dixie?
But there's something interesting about
Jacksonville, Florida?
Where is the source?
Silver Springs?
No.
McGee Municipal Springs in Mississippi? We were there.
Yeah.
We were there.
Yeah.
That's one of the... I wonder what's on the market in that little town. We went there.
I liked that.
What was it called? And I met a guy. I didn't meet him, but he's from that town. One of our subscribers.
McGee, Mississippi?
How do you spell that? Well, it's right in front of me. That's a dumb question. Let's see here. McGee. He said I pronounced it wrong, but he says his last name is McGee, and he's from there.
Oh.
He says the town's named after him. That's a cool thing about YouTube. Like, we go and we do these videos, and then we read some of these comments, and it's, like, incredible the people that find our videos.
Like, I keep wanting him to go to Mississippi again because, you know, we need to see all states. I mean, Mississippi is a state people are moving out of, but it is a state where people can move into.
They don't even have a Publix.
So, they have Kroger.
Who goes to Kroger? Nobody's gonna go to Kroger. Bro, like, we live in Alabama, but we have a Publix 15 minutes away.
Publix is not the only thing out there. Other grocery stores exist.
It's really cheap there.
Yeah.
Look at this.
That's
5 acres. Yeah, it's 5 acres. But dude, this is the middle of nowhere. Oh, actually no, because it's like, was it close to Jackson? Let's see where that town was.
Yeah.
Jackson's got everything. Actually, they had a traffic jam in Jackson.
Yeah.
Where's that McGee place? Where was it? Here's Jackson. They have everything in Jackson. It's a big city. Actually, it's pretty chaotic there. It's actually chaotic.
Yeah.
There's some industry on this side of town. What's this right here? There's a Corning Transportation
Plastics
Department.
factory.
Plastic factory.
Die cast.
Yeah, they got stuff going on. Let's find that town on the map. I don't remember where it's at, so we gotta find it. McGee. It's just like that, McGee. Why am I not spelling this right? McGee. It's just Muggy. There's McGee.
Yeah.
Muggy. It's a Muggy. I don't know how to pronounce it. There it is, right there. Let's see.
They got a Love's truck stop.
Okay, where's it at?
It's near Mendenhall.
It's in the middle of nowhere. But from there to Jackson, how far?
Or Hattiesburg, which is a big city.
Yeah, let's see how far it is from Jackson, which is a big city. 48 minutes? That's not bad.
No.
And actually, by the time you get to here, there's already industry and stuff. So, there's a Walmart right there.
Yeah.
So, you're actually... Okay, that's not too bad.
No.
That's not too bad. Right. So, that's not too bad. That's not ridiculous. So, you're at least...
Jackson, Mississippi has a lot of natural beauty, though Jackson is dirty.
Yeah.
Is what Derek says.
Yeah. So, you'll be... They have a Walmart.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so they have a Walmart Supercenter.
Waffle House, Popeyes. I don't know what that
Okay.
word is, but...
Oh, I have a restaurant here. I got stuff I don't even know about. They got a... Whoa. I own a restaurant. I knew I was rich.
No, you're not.
I knew I was rich. How does this happen at a Mexican restaurant?
I don't know. I mean...
Oh, and they got like Brill bands. Welcome to... I have a Mexican restaurant, baby.
Do you want to go there?
So, let's move on. Okay. So if you got a Walmart right in your own town, you got a Popeyes, a Mexican restaurant, Crystal,
a seafood restaurant.
We can live there.
Yeah.
China Buffet. Love's Truck Stop. Okay, we can live there. They got Tractor Supply. Okay, so they do have something. So it's not like... And there's a town center. Okay, so it's not too bad. They don't have... Again, they don't have Publix.
Jose, the world does not begin and end with Publix.
Says the person who goes to Starbucks.
Of course, I can go into Jackson for Whole Foods. Or I think they have a Trader Joe's.
Okay, gotcha. So, if we do Mississippi, and like this is a real thing for us, we might actually do Mississippi. Good night, y'all hanging out. See you next time for the info. Yeah, people are starting to check out on us. It's getting late. But look, this little trailer on 5 acres.
What does the inside look like?
I wouldn't do a trailer. Especially in a place where it's especially in a place where it snows. But let's just look at it. I mean, for price comparison, on 5 acres, 5 acres, and it looks like it's cleared. Half of it's cleared, and you have like a building out back. Oh, but look, it's near a chicken. I ain't doing that. See this chicken plant? Yeah. You smell that from your house. No way. One thing I did like about Mississippi, and I don't know if you agree with me, it seems like in Mississippi, if you wanted, like, you could probably find a 10-acre house in our price range.
Yeah.
No neighbors, just a house in the middle of nowhere.
You know what they do have in Mississippi that you like?
Crime?
No. Your favorite that you don't have very often.
Publix?
You have that all the time.
Okay, you have to get to it because
it starts with a Q.
They have Quiznos?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a point for you.
So, you know, like, we started the live stream talking about how I wanted to be on 10, 15 acres. I probably can't do that in Alabama, but I could probably do that in Mississippi.
Yeah.
And it seems like in Mississippi...
In Mississippi, if your net worth is $250,000, you're in the top 1%.
We could be the 1%. Yo, we could be the we
are.
Could be the 1%ers, man. Yo, we can roll up in the town in our 2008 Yukon and be rich.
How much can I buy an affordable land in Alabama?
It depends what area.
Yeah.
It depends what area.
They want us to look at Biloxi.
Biloxi, Mississippi?
Yeah.
No, we're not going to do along the coast. Hurricanes. We're not doing it on
No,
the
they
coast.
just want to look at it.
Nope.
You gotta do.
Nope. Let's look at land. Like, as far as, like, let's see here. 5 acres or more. Oh, there's 16 properties out there. I want to be on land. Like, I don't want neighbors. Like, here's one on 64 acres. 64 acres for $300,000. That's a little expensive.
Maybe there's more than one structure on the property.
Yeah, there might be. That's a lot of money. 64 acres.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you'll never,
And they
ever.
got gas, so your utilities are cheap, I guess.
Yo, look at the building.
Oh my gosh, it looks like they store airplanes in it.
Yeah, it's a big building. It's a big building to work out of.
Wonder if there's pictures of the building inside the building.
Probably. It's a big building.
Ooh, that looks nice.
It's
I
got
love
tile.
the tile.
It's an old house. It's nothing special.
That would be really cute.
Mm.
I could make that look so cute.
I don't know. This house looks like crap.
Oh, I like it.
That house. It's a little expensive though. It's $300,000.
You gave up
Just
without
for the
seeing the
price?
last 10 pictures.
Yeah, with that price tag, yeah. But no, you could really get let me expand search area. You could really get, like, in Mississippi, like, you could really get that 10, 15 acres. Like, here's one on 5 acres for $80,000.
It's sold.
Yeah. Looks like garbage. I ain't trying to live in an old house like that.
No.
It looks cute, but, you know, like the mold and the cockroaches. But see, you got a neighbor right here. But it's a big house, though. It's decent neighbors. I don't want to have neighbors. That's the thing. I want to be like I want to be like this one. See, it's $85,000, but it's on 15 acres. You know. All right. Do you remember when we first wanted to move to Alabama that I wanted to look at a house in Banks, Alabama?
Yeah.
That was on 5 acres.
Yes.
You remember it?
Yes.
And you said you wouldn't even consider looking at it because you wanted to live in a city because you're a little city girl. Remember? There was a house in Banks, Alabama.
Yes. I remember the
on
property.
5 acres that I wanted. That was like 70,000?
Yes.
So it was a house in South Alabama on 5 acres with a creek flowing through it. No neighbors, just out in the middle of the woods. Now that we've been out there, we like Troy, we like Dauphin, we like everything down there. City girl, look at City girl over here says they don't have Starbucks.
I didn't say that. I said we need to go a little bit further. We need to be closer to a major city.
They don't have Starbucks. They don't have Starbucks.
No, that was you, Jose.
Me. I put the blame on me.
You said they're not near Publix.
So, there are good stuff in Alabama. It's just really hard to find.
Is that a housing project for sale?
Oh, I would love to buy a house in Friday. Might be able to a crime concern. Nope. You could buy a housing project. Might be.
Yeah.
Look at this one.
Yeah.
Is this in Alabama?
Yeah.
Yo.
Highland Home.
Where is that?
It's 121 acres.
That's a lot of land.
Yeah.
That's nothing right there. $300,000 for that much land?
Mm-hmm.
Let's see where that's at. We're losing people. They're probably going to sleep on us.
No, we're getting more
We
people.
got a few more. Yeah, a few of them went to sleep. They're like, yo, I got to go work. I love this cold weather, but hey, we're back on. Hey. They don't have Starbucks. Where is this? Oh, it's south of Montgomery.
Yeah.
Look at how big this area is.
Yeah.
So this is south of Montgomery.
Yeah.
That's not bad. You can go into Greenville, which is nice. You can go into Troy, which is nice, or you can go into Montgomery. We've been out here.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've driven through here. It's a nice area.
Yeah.
It's a really nice area.
Do you want me to charge your phone?
Yeah, it's about to die. Or I can use yours. I'm just using it to scroll through comments.
Do you want to just be done?
Well, yeah, a little bit. I need to
You
rest.
look uncomfortable.
Oh, I feel like crap. My stomach hurts. I feel horrible. And I didn't even eat that much today. It's a little cabin. Look at the deer. Yeah, it's got 125 acres, so.
Yeah.
It's got another little house. Look at those bucks, man. And there's a raccoon up on top of there. So that's like our yard. Turkeys.
Yeah.
That's a lot of land. They're the raccoons. There's like raccoons everywhere. Like I see 1, 2, 3 raccoons.
Turkeys.
Yeah, it's got a creek flowing through it. Look.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got a creek flowing through the property. So yeah, I mean that's what you get for $300,000 in Alabama. You get 120 acres. Huh?
Did they sell that
No,
property?
it's still in the market. Right. Now on the other hand,
it's just $70,000, right?
Which one?
The one you wanted.
Oh, that's long gone. I'm sure that's long gone.
Well, look.
No, it's long gone. Montgomery. 5 acres in Montgomery. You know, there's some pretty massive properties here in Montgomery on the east side. Look at this one. 5 bedroom, 5 bath, 5,000 square feet, 5 acres. How much is it? And it's still less than $500,000. Look at the size of this property.
I want to see the pictures of the inside.
Yeah, 5,000 square foot home.
Wow, that's a pretty lake.
It's got its little lake, yeah. Yeah, there's nice stuff on the outskirts of Montgomery. Why do they have that old TV up there? Whose idea was it to drag that up there?
Look at that shower.
It's outdated, though.
Yeah.
To buy a house that big that's outdated,
Yeah.
you know? You know, Montgomery, like, you have they built, like, in the 80s and stuff, and the 90s, a lot of these giant houses in Montgomery. And now you have these giant houses that are totally outdated. Like, listen to this thing. It's got wallpaper. Oh, what a nightmare. Can you imagine a house that's 5,000 square foot, and every single square foot of that house is outdated? That's horrible. You know, look at that. Wallpapers. I mean, you can keep some of these floors. That's like our bathroom.
Yeah.
5,000 square foot.
That's kind of like our
Yeah, you wouldn't have to mess with that bedroom.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah, it does. It's got this bedroom's got wallpaper. 5,000 square foot of outdated crap. Look at that. Like every single square inch of this house is outdated. Is that a Mercedes-Benz?
Yeah.
Yo, what is that? Why is it blue?
It's their carpet.
Why is it blue?
That was what was popular.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's a giant house, but every square inch of that property is outdated.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's a big property.
Yeah.
It's got another lake in the back, look.
Yeah.
It's got 2 lakes. That's not bad for $500,000, but the amount of work.
Yeah.
Oh, here's one on 15 acres.
You can afford that. Depending.
Yeah.
Bakerville.
I think we're gonna have to look at Mississippi if I really want that much land.
Yeah.
Because there's not too many options in Alabama.
Yeah.
Look at this one. Within our price range.
What's your dad gonna think of us moving to Mississippi?
I mean, it's not gonna surprise anybody that we do something crazy like that anymore. I mean,
Yeah.
what people think doesn't matter. It's just
Yeah.
this one's 11 acres in Troy. All right, guys. So I'm gonna let you guys go. It's been a pleasure to spend this time with you guys here. I know there's 43 of you guys watching. I'm gonna let you guys go. And it's been a pleasure to spend this time with you guys. Thank you so much for joining us. If you're a new subscriber, welcome to the channel. FTG Glock, Derek Brown, all this stuff. Thanks for spending this time with us.
Yeah.
We need to get some rest. It's late.
If you haven't subscribed, go ahead and do
Go
that.
ahead and subscribe. And welcome all the new people lots of new people on the channel. Welcome all you guys.
Yes.
You guys have a great night. It's incredible how fast our channel is growing. I can't even believe how fast it's growing. But we're putting in a lot of work for you guys. Today's been the first day we stay at home in a while. So, being on the road.
We might need to stay home again tomorrow.
Yeah, we need to we need a little break.
We need to slow down a
little bit. We're going so hard, but yeah, it's a pleasure to be with you guys. And thank you guys so much.